Guys, welcome back on the series of entrepreneurship. This is part 3. I've looked at part 1 and 2. Now let's look at designing individual or opportunity nexus. According to Shane and Venkataraman, entrepreneurship comprises both enterprising individuals and entrepreneurial opportunities. So researchers should study the nature of the individuals who identify opportunities when others do not, the opportunities themselves, and the nexus between individuals and opportunities. On the other hand, Reynolds et al. Argue that individuals are motivated to engage in entrepreneurial endeavors driven mainly by necessity or opportunity. That is, individuals pursue entrepreneurship primarily owing to survival needs or because they identify business opportunities that satisfy their need for achievement. For example, higher economic inequality tends to increase necessity-based entrepreneurship rates at the individual level. Opportunity perception and biases. One study has found that certain genes affecting personality may influence the income of self-employed people. Some people may not be able to use an innate ability or quasi-statistical sense to gauge public market needs and unserved market, while some entrepreneurs assume they can sense and figure out what others are thinking. The mass media plays a crucial role in shaping views and demand. Ramo Gill argues that entrepreneurs are not that distinctive and that it is essentially poor conceptualization of non-entrepreneurs that maintain laundry portraits of entrepreneurs as exceptional innovators or leaders. Entrepreneurs are often overconfident, exhibit illusion of control when they are opening or expanding business or new products or services. Styles. Differences in entrepreneurial organization often partially reflect their founders' heterogeneous identities. Fullchat and Global have classified entrepreneurs into 3 main types: Darwinians, communitarians, and missionaries. These types of entrepreneurs diverge in fundamental ways in their self-views, social motivations, and patterns of new film creation. Communication. Entrepreneurs must practice effective communication both within their firm and with external partners and investors to launch and grow a venture and enable it to survive. An entrepreneur needs a communication system that links the staff of their firm and connects the firm to outside firms and clients. Entrepreneurs should be charismatic leaders so that they can communicate a vision effectively to their team and help to create a strong team. Communicating a vision to followers may be the most important act of the transformational leader. Compelling visions provide employees with a sense of purpose and encourage commitment. According to Baum et al. And Coase and Posner, the vision must be communicated through written statements and through in-person communication. Entrepreneurial leaders must speak and listen to articulate their vision to others. Communication is a pivotal in the role of entrepreneurship because it enables the leaders to convince potential investors, partners, and employees about the feasibility of a venture. Entrepreneurs need to communicate effectively to shareholders. Non-verbal elements in speech such as tone of voice, the look in the sender's eyes, body language, hand gestures, and state of emotion are also important communication tools. The communication accommodation theory posits that throughout communication, people will attempt to accommodate or adjust their method of speaking to others. Face negotiation theory describes how people from different cultures manage conflict negotiation to maintain face. Hologram intensify and downplay communications model can be used by entrepreneurs who are developing a new product or service. Rank argues that entrepreneurs need to be able to intensify the advantages of their new products or services and downplay the disadvantage to persuade others to support their venture. Links to see piracy. Research from 2014 found links between entrepreneurship and historical sea piracy. In this context, this claim is made for a non-moral approach to looking at the history of piracy as a source of inspiration for entrepreneurship education, as well as research in entrepreneurship and business model generation. Psychological makeup. Rose Levine, an economist of the University of California, Berkeley, and Yonah Rubinstein, a professor at the London School of Economics, released a study which suggests entrepreneurs and disproportionately white male from wealthy and highly educated backgrounds are prone to aggressive, illicit, risk-taking activities as teenagers and young adults. Entrepreneurs also performed above average on aptitude tests. This masculine image is also found when studying how male entrepreneurs are represented in media. A supporting but invisible family are one of the success factors when being portrayed as a male entrepreneur in media. A study conducted by the Census Bureau and two MIT professors after compiling a list of 2.7 million company founders who hired at least one employee between 2007 and 2014 found the average age of a successful startup founder when he or she founded it is 45. They consistently found chances of entrepreneurial success rises with age. Stanford University economist Edward Lisa found in a 2005 study that variety in education and in work experience was the most important trait that distinguished entrepreneurs from non-entrepreneurs. A 2013 study by Oshchi Bakes of the University of Zurich and Petra Mogg of the University of Siegen in Germany found that a diverse social network was also important characteristics of students that will go on to become entrepreneurs. Study shows that the psychological propensities for male and female entrepreneurs are more similar than different empirical studies suggest that female entrepreneurs possess strong negotiating skills and consensus forming abilities. Asa Hansen, who looked at empirical evidence from Sweden, found that the probability of becoming self-employed decreases with age for women but increases with age for men. She also found that marriage increases the probability of a person's becoming an entrepreneur. Jasper Servicing wrote in 2010 that significant influences on the decision to become an entrepreneur include workspace, peers, and social composition. Sorensen discovered a correlation between working with former entrepreneurs and how often these individuals become entrepreneurs themselves compared to those who did not work with entrepreneurs. Social composition can influence entrepreneurialism in pairs by demonstrating the possibility for success, stimulating a "he can do it" one kind eye attitude. As Sorensen stated, when you meet others who have gone out on their own, it doesn't seem that crazy. Now let's look at strategic entrepreneurship. Some scholars have constructed an operational definition of a more specific subcategory called strategic entrepreneurship, closely tied with principles of strategic management. This form of entrepreneurship is concerned about growth, creating value for customers, and subsequently creating wealth for owners. A 2011 article for the Academy of Management provided a three-step input, process, and output model of strategic entrepreneurship. The model's three steps entail the collection of different sources, the process of orchestrating them in the necessary manner, and the subsequent creation of competitive advantage, value of customers, wealth, and other benefits. Through the proper use of strategic management or leadership technique and the implementation of risk-bearing entrepreneurial thinking, the strategic entrepreneur is therefore able to align resources to create value and wealth. Leadership in entrepreneurship can be defined as a process of social influence in which one person can enlist the aid and support of others in the accomplishment of a common task. In one who undertakes innovations, finance, and business acumen in an effort to transform innovation into economic goods. This refers to not only the act of entrepreneurship as managing or starting a business, but how one manages to do so by this social process or leadership skills. Entrepreneurship in itself can be defined somewhat secularly as the process by which individual, teams, or organizations identify and pursue entrepreneurial opportunities without being immediately constrained by the resources they currently control. An entrepreneur typically has a mindset that seeks out potential opportunities during uncertain times. With the growing global market and increasing technology use throughout all industries, the core of entrepreneurship and the decision-making has become an ongoing process rather than isolated incidents. This becomes knowledge management, which is identifying and harnessing intellectual assets for organizations to build on past experiences and create new mechanisms for exchanging and creating knowledge. This belief draws upon a leader's past experiences that may prove to be useful. It is a common mantra for one to learn from their past mistakes, so leaders should take advantage of their failures for their benefit. This is how one may take their experiences as a leader for the use in the core of entrepreneurship decision making. Global leadership. The majority of scholarly research done on this topic has taken place in North America, words like leadership and entrepreneurship do not translate well into other cultures and languages. For example, in North America, a leader is often thought of as charismatic, but German culture frowns on such charisma due to the charisma of Nazi leader Adolf Hitler, 1889 to 1945. Other cultures, as in some European countries, view the term leader negatively, like the French. The participative leadership style that is prevalent in the United States is considered disrespectful. in many other parts of the world due to indifferences in power distance. Many Asian and Middle Eastern countries do not have open door policies for subordinates who will never informally approach their manager or bosses. For countries like that, an authoritarian approach to management and leadership is more customary. Despite cultural differences, the successes and failure of entrepreneurs can be traced to how leaders adapt to local conditions. Within the increasingly global business environment, a successful leader must be able to adapt and have insight into their cultures to respond to the environment. Corporate visions are becoming more transnational in nature to enable the organization to operate or provide services or goods for other cultures. Let's look at entrepreneurship training and education. Monescrystalcove and Itel are a pair of researchers who believe that identifying and comparing the relationship between an entrepreneur's earnings and education level will determine the rate and level of success. Their study focused on two education levels: college degree and postgraduate degree. Monescrystalcove and Itel do not specifically determine characteristics or traits for successful entrepreneurs. They do believe that there is a direct relationship between education and success, noting that having a college knowledge does not contribute to advancement in the workspace. Monescrystalcove and Itel state that there has been a rise in the number of self-employed people with a baccalaureate degree. However, their findings also show that those who are self-employed and possess a graduate degree has remained consistent throughout time at about 33%. They briefly mentioned those famous entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg, who were college dropouts, but they do not consider these cases to be exceptional, as many entrepreneurs view formal education as costly due to the time that needs to be spent on it. Monescrystalcove and Itel believe that an individual, to reach the full success, they need to have an education beyond high school. Their research shows that the higher the education level, the greater the success. The reason is that college gives people additional skills that can be used within their business and to operate on a higher level than someone who only wants it. So guys, this is part 3. Watch out for part 4. So we're going to be looking at resources and financing. Under it, we have entrepreneurial resources and other aspects. Thank you all for listening, and I hope to see you in part 4 on the series of entrepreneurship. Thank you guys. Bye.